Hey Yoga Seeker, let's begin again together. Finding your spot on your mat and bring yourself into a comfortable seated position. Take a little moment to arrive, connect with your breath. And we're going to begin to move the waist around in a circular motion. You can keep the eyes closed here if that feels comfortable. Really trying to find the meditation within this movement. And then let's go in the opposite direction. No rules here, just find your way. And you're going to bring yourself back to your center. Drop the chin to the chest. Just linger here for a breath or two. And then we're going to begin to move the head around in circles. So just go whichever way you feel for. Almost like exaggerate the slowing down of this movement. We're going to go twice in one direction. And then when you're ready, reverse it and start to go the other way. Releasing any build-up of stress that may be hiding in the neck, sitting atop the shoulders. And then return to sit tall and begin to make circles now with the wrists. Fancy hands. You can reach the arms up and then reverse the circle as you drop the arms back down. Okay, now let's get out of this seat and find our way to a tabletop. So you're going to be facing the front of your mat. Take your time setting up. Shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees, relax the feet. And we're going to do our circular motion cat-cow. So just begin to move the body really organically here. Again, there's no real rules. You don't need to attach to any one particular narrative. Once you've gone 3 times going one way, or 3-ish, you can reverse the circle. Close down the eyes, forget how the movement looks. Lead with the feels. Nice. When you're ready, come back to your center, tabletop. You're going to then extend the left toes towards the back of the mat. You might need to adjust where you're at on your mat. Tuck the toes at the back and just find this simple rock forward and back, waking up through the back of that leg, through the foot. We're then going to pick the foot up and hover, and then begin to draw the knee in towards the chest, thread it through, set the foot down in between the hands for a grounded lunge. Nice open chest here. And then getting ready to go hands free. We're going to reach the arms up, torso is upright, shoulders over the hips. And then bring the hands together, draw them down through your center line. Let's do that a couple more times. Reach the arms up, hands meet, draw them down through your center. And again. And now we'll hold around about 3 breaths, but just let that breath play out. We don't need to breathe by numbers necessarily. It's just kind of a loose guide. Spending enough time to reap the benefits of the juicy stretch. Get ready to exit, reach your arms up. And with a nice exhale, plant the hands down. And send it back, tabletop. Take a little reset breath. Have a little wiggle, and then we'll go to the other side. So right toes tucked towards the back of the mat, and find that nice rock forward and back. Keep the breath nice and fluid here. Now getting ready to transition to your grounded lunge. Extend the leg, hover it, and then draw the knee to the chest, stamping the foot down towards the top of the mat, open chest. Once you feel like you've kind of found that solid ground, you're going to rise up with an inhale, arms reach high. With an exhale, hands together through the center. As you can see here, I'm tucking the toes for some extra stability. And we're flowing, syncing breath and movement, syncing up with your own soul's pace. You don't need to be going at the exact same pace as me. We're then going to hold here just for a little while. This pose doesn't look like much, but it can be quite challenging. Get ready to exit your lunge, sweep the arms up. With an exhale, drop the hands down and bring it back to your trusty tabletop. And now tucking those toes, lifting the knees, lifting the hips real high. Push the shoulders back as you draw the heels down to the ground. Drop the head heavy. For your Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog, infuse your down dog with some nice natural movement here. Bending the knees, maybe a little sway of the hips, a shake of the head. Keep pushing the ground away. Keep connecting with breath, full body experience. Deep breaths. And then we're going to shift those shoulders forwards, come up onto the tiptoes, lower the knees. Knees wide, big toes together to touch, sink the hips back to the heels. Extended child's pose. You can either stay up here or you can play around with crawling those hands forwards and melting the chest and the forehead down to your mat. Practice the art of surrender here. Know you're never stuck in any pose. So if you need to tweak and adjust, maybe you want to turn the head to one side. Take what you need. Creating and holding this space within your child's pose for deep healing to happen. Notice what you feel, where you feel it. And then without any rush whatsoever, we're going to make our way out of the child's pose. Start to find a sway with the shoulders as you crawl the hands back down the mat, kind of towards where your knees are. And eventually making your way up into a seated position. You can either stay here, up on the knees, or you can swing those legs out from underneath you, coming back to maybe a cross-legged position. Maybe you want to splay the legs out in front of you. You do you. And just check back in here. Notice what's alive, kind of what's cooking, what's stirring, what's bubbling to the surface for you. feeling into the ripple effects of your yoga practice. Let's bring the hands together. I thank you for sharing your time, your mood, and your energy here today, together in yoga.